Hello, everyone. So I had to throw on some warmer clothes. I had to throw on. I even had to throw on little warm socks. I got them from Mount Vernon. Look! They've got they got little balls on them. All right. Okay. Gotta fix that. Oh, come on. Okay. So, I'm going to be eating in about 4 hours, but in the meantime, I'm going to be snacking on three different kinds of cheeses. So now you know why. So on this one, probably go to here, but doesn't matter. Depends on how much I talk. So let's get into the video.
Amazing.
Fuck Clinton.
Well, because I remember that's so funny.
Yours is Obama. I remember
That's so funny to me.
Bush's W's inauguration. That's like the first political thing I remember.
It's incredible to me because Clinton was a sea change.
Yeah.
Because Bush ran against Mike Dukakis, who was the governor of Massachusetts, where I was from. So he was our governor. And he was running against Jesse Jackson in the primaries. And Jesse Jackson was just like killing. He was out there making these speeches. People loved Jesse Jackson. What's that?
Is that Hymietown?
Is
that Jesse Jackson?
I threw the hood on, and then I realized that I look like some member of like a Freemasons group, and people are going to look at it and go, okay. I am a conspiracy, so I took the hood off.
Called New York Hymietown.
Was he in like the garden?
Yeah, I think he said it to like, hey,
Hymietown.
Yeah, he called New York City Hymietown. Yes, he sure did.
I like that.
And
That's funny.
so
Hymietown.
Jesse Jackson attacked Cedric the Entertainer many years later for a character he played in Barbershop where he says, fuck Rosa Parks. I'm sick of hearing about Rosa Parks. It's a really funny scene where he's a black guy saying, I don't give a shit about Rosa Parks. And Jesse Jackson said he never should have said that. She's you don't touch this woman with your humor. And he's yelled at, and Cedric, who was a religious guy, and he was upset. And I was pissed off at Jesse, and I just did once in a while I do this kind of dumb thing. I called the fucking the Rainbow Coalition. That's his office in Chicago. And this woman answered the phone. Hello? And I go, I have a complaint about Jesse Jackson. She goes, who are you? And I said, I'm just a citizen, and I don't agree with what she said. And he says, he don't care what you think, young man. And she hung up.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because, sometimes I've called the White House like 4 times in my life and said, hey, and they say, yes, tell me the thing. And they politely take it down. I called Trump when Trump was like not conceding the election.
Yeah.
I called the White House and it was deep into it.
Yeah.
And usually it's like, hello, White House. It's a switchboard
You're
operator.
calling the White House?
And you say, I want to make a complaint. And she says, yes, I'll put you through. And they either, they give you a voicemail or they put somebody who just writes down, thank you very much. They take your comment and you just figure it's one of a trillion. But when I called Trump's White House, some guy, you could hear a loosened tie and unshaven. Some guy goes, hello, White House. And I go, hi, I want to make a complaint. He goes, what? I want to make a complaint. He goes, look, please just go to the website. Can you just go to the website? And I said, are you okay? And he goes, not great. I swear to God, I had this conversation. He goes, not great. I said, okay, well, I hope you have a better day. He said, thank you. I do appreciate that. So it was at that point, awesome. The White House was in a place where it was like, Trump's like, somebody get the fucking phone. The fucking phone is ringing. And there's like nobody's left.
It was the end of Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes,
like
everybody
the dudes were falling apart.
It was nuts. But so Jesse Jackson was running in a great comedian named Barry Crimmins.
Wait, I can't believe you're calling the White House.
I call the White House occasionally. Yeah. I call radio talk shows sometimes. I called a radio talk show and spoke to John McCain on the phone once on the radio.
Yeah, what'd you tell him?
And he was in New York campaigning
Dude,
for Bloomberg. He was campaigning for Bloomberg to be mayor. Bloomberg was running against Mark Green, who was a firebrand, like anti-establishment guy. And I called McCain and I said, first of all, you should be supporting Mark Green because he's just like you. And he said, I love Mark Green. Like I got him to say, it's like, Mark Green's a great guy. But, Mike's got it. Mike Bloomberg's got it. And I said, also, you should run for president. He's like, no, stop. Get him off. I was like, get him off the phone.
Yeah.
So that was my, and then later I met McCain at the Tonight Show. I was the lead guest and his daughter was the second guest. And I went and his daughter said, my dad wants to meet you. And I went to her dressing room and he was there. And I said, hey, I just love John McCain. I fucking love him. And I just saying, hey, man, I just, you're really something.
Yeah.
And he said, Louis, you're the best. Louis, you're the best. And he said, I heard you did USO shows. And I said, yeah, I was in Iraq. I was in Afghanistan. And so then when she was being interviewed, she brought out her dad. And he sat down and he sat down and he said before, and Jay goes, hey, and McCain goes, before I say anything, I want to pay tribute to Louis CK because he went to the Middle East, put his life in danger to entertain our troops. And how about that? And he got the crowd.
Wow.
First thing out of his mouth.
That's fucking cool.
And he said that he wanted.
I just want to say, I always, if you don't know about John McCain, Vietnam, he was captured, tortured. They broke his arms. And he didn't want them to know how much they hurt him. So every single time they were around the Vietnamese soldier, I think it was Vietnamese soldiers, maybe Korea, I don't remember, one of them. Every time they were around, just to get into their head, he would do push-ups or exercises in some way. Like if they beat his legs, he might do jumping jacks. If they broke his arms, he was doing push-ups. He wanted them to see what they were doing to him didn't affect him. Because the mind game that might be played in those situations is it's a mental thing. Being beaten is one thing, but it's also a mental thing where they would take them, all the prisoners out, line them up and tell them, okay, you're dead, and then point guns at them. And, do you have anything you want to say? Some of those soldiers are crying, and then they shoot, and nothing happens. There was nothing in the chamber. And then all the people would laugh because those Americans thought they were going to be killed or something like that. John McCain didn't. Okay, good. This is sweet relief. And they could not mentally beat him. And that, in those situations, the first thing to go is your mental ability to hold on to it. You will break eventually. They say that in Zero Dark 30. It's biology. You will break eventually. It's just how long some people can hold out. Did John McCain break? Sure, probably. But he played that mental game where they were not going to break him physically. You don't have to like his, he was a Republican. You can hate him. Trump hates him. You can hate him all you want, but I respect, he's gone, RIP to him, but I respect him immensely. He ran against Obama on Obama's first term. Had Obama not been running against him, and it would have been, insert a name, I would have voted for McCain. McCain was he's just a good dude. Just a good guy.
To exchange numbers because we both read a lot of the same books. He's a great guy. I never got to talk to him again after that. Okay.
You remember when Trump smashed?
What's that?
When Trump talked shit on him?
Oh, God. First of all, it was genius.
It's so funny.
Genius moment.
It was such a funny.
The thing about when you get to the schoolyard, you look for the biggest kid and you punch him in the nose. You might get your ass kicked, but no one else will fuck with you. Yeah. So in the politics at that time for Trump, it was like, who's the most loved? Who's the most loved man in American politics? John McCain. I'm going to call him a loser. I like the guys who don't get shot down.
Yeah.
The guys who don't get shot down are the guys who avoid who don't do their jobs.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
No, it was a good joke. Great joke.
Brilliant.
Great level of shit talking.
So
people calling somebody a war hero and being like, he got captured.
That was one of those.
What a fucking
Trump
loser.
had so many moments where I was just like, oh my God.
That was one that was the
and
one.
again, from the backstory of every detail I remember about all these guys. But anyway, let's wait.
Yeah, let's go here. We got George.
Real fast with the McCain thing. McCain got his ultimate revenge. When Trump was president, he was trying to push through his own healthcare thing. And the deciding vote came up to McCain. McCain walks up, and they're like, what do you vote, yay or nay? And he's like, and his one vote killed the bill. Whether John McCain did not like Trump's health plan, whatever it was, inconsequential. He was the one who got to say, hey, guess what? Nope.
I mean, we got
Herbert Walker. Yeah, we got to
Okay.
let's skip
Okay.
H. Oh, this one's too? Damn. Skip HW. Fuck it.
Okay. Herbert Walker Bush,
CIA, evil if you look into everything they've done.
He engineered his whole life to become president. He had Reagan shot, and his father,
Was
Prescott
there with
Bush,
Kennedy.
was a senator, and he traded with the Nazis. Like, he got censured by the Senate for selling goods to the Nazis back when they were. There's a lot of Americans making money selling shit to Hitler.
Yeah.
If you ever go to 30 Rock, where
I was almost there, yeah.
you were almost there, but then you said something terrible, just terrible. Shane, how dare you? I just remembered. Get out of my house. Oh, shame on you, Shane Gillis.
I like my SNL cast
Shame
members
on
who
you.
didn't get cut.
I worked at Conan, which is in the same building, and the producer is Jeff Ross, not Jeffrey Ross, the comedian. This is the producer, and he was really interested in history. And he said, "You want to see something cool?" And he took me into there was a stairwell in 30 Rock, and he took me in there, and he pushed my head down. No, and there's these big red pipes in the stairwells that are feeding the whatever sprinklers. I don't know what they're. Big iron red pipes that have been there since 30 Rock was built back in the late 30s by Rockefeller. And there's a big spigot coming off of the side of one of them with a big, wheel. It's some release valve. And on the side of it is a fucking Nazi, like an embossed Nazi, and it's raised, it's not painted on.
Oh, it's in the, yeah.
It's a swastika. And he said, these are all of the steel in this building is Nazi steel. It's all German steel. That was the flag.
Fuck?
It wasn't a political flag. Like, it was a political flag, but it was also just the flag of Germany.
Yeah.
So if you bought German steel, it was like made in USA.
Yeah, you're not going to
It
tear
had
down
a
the building.
swastika on it, and they bought it. And he said all of the steel in 30 Rock has swastikas on it. But at one point they turn them into the corners, but they can't turn these spigots. So every time I used to go to 30 Rock,
Holy
like when I
shit.
hosted SNL, I would take anybody who didn't know about it and show it to them. But the last time I went there, they had shaved it down. Somebody got in there with a thing and shaved it down.
Holy shit.
But so that's how fucked up. So that's Prescott Bush was one of the guys making money on Nazis. And then it's Skull and Bones guy.
Yeah.
George Bush, H.W.
Skull and
Bush,
Bones,
Skull
yeah.
and Bones. But he was a kind of a Nixon-y thing where I think he went too far. He got Reagan shot. He just went through
He
too many
did a lot.
fucked up things.
He was CIA, man. He was
Yes,
the
and he
head
was
of the
supposed
CIA.
to run. He was supposed to win. But this is when I started to believe in this country, was when Clinton ran for president. Because, and again, not based on politics even, but how dug in Reagan and Bush felt. And Bush just felt like, you ain't going to beat this guy with nothing. These guys are in, and there's Dick Cheney in there. And Donald Rumsfeld, these fucking guys are like, these are hard ass fucking guys who don't bleed. You just don't believe they bleed. And they got it all worked out. And they've been there for 12 fucking years.
Yeah.
And here comes Clinton, whose mom was a blackjack dealer in Vegas and whose dad died in a 3-inch puddle. He died. He was drunk and he hit a tree and was launched out of his car and landed in 3 little feet of water and drowned in it. That was Clinton's dad. And then that was Jefferson. His father, his name was.
Was that his real dad or his stepdad?
His dad's last name is Jefferson.
Yeah.
It would have been another Jefferson. That was his real dad. His mom then married a guy named Clinton.
He changed his name.
And had Roger. And his mom, and that guy used to beat the shit out of his mom. And the second Clinton got big enough, one night his stepdaddy came home drunk, and he stood up to him and he said, "If you hit my mom again, I'm going to kill you." And he used to protect his little brother. And his little brother was like an orphan. His dad's a drunk.
Yeah.
So the dad disappears. And the day that Clinton turned 18, he was already in charge of the family. The day he turned 18, he took his brother to City Hall. And he said, "You know what I'm doing today? I'm changing my last name to Clinton so that you and me are real brothers." That's why his last name is Clinton.
Yeah.
That's who Bill Clinton is. Okay? And he fucked a bunch of 10-year-old girls on a jet.
He also fucked those kids. but he did. That's the problem.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't know. It wasn't my pussy. It wasn't my pussy.
It wasn't mine, but it's not looking good.
Oh, it's not looking good at all.
I mean, he took a lot of those.
Listen,
he loved the ladies, which
I know nothing
you can't
about
knock
it.
a guy for liking ladies, but
those aren't
They're referring to the Jeffrey Epstein list. Bill Clinton was on there. A lot of people were on there.
ladies. Those are babies.
No, I meant his reputation.
Look, I don't know. I don't fucking
Outside of banging the kids, his reputation was
love the ladies.
Lewinsky and the other
Sure.
lady.
So Clinton, but Clinton was this fucking country good old boy, and they threw. And I mean, we had just lost Gary Hart. He was. That's why Dukakis ran.
Yeah,
because Gary Hart got caught with a chick, and so that was Democrats' problems. Is the
they're getting too much pussy.
Too much pussy. And so Clinton
Bob
shows
Dole.
up, and the first thing that happens in New Hampshire is fucking Jennifer Flowers. And but then there was this feeling that it was a kind of a circus. And I remember Howard Stern's guy, Stuttering John. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Stuttering John. Jennifer Flowers' first her press conference, it was like a serious thing, and she's like, "Yes, I did have sex with him." And then you heard Stuttering John say, "Are you planning to have sex with any more Democratic candidates?" and she laughed, and everybody laughed. To me, that was the moment where everybody was like, "Who gives a fuck who he fucked?" Hillary stood by him. We did the interview with him and with Barbara Walters. A light fell from the grid and crashed on the floor right next to them. And the Clintons hugged, and they were both crying. So it was like they're under a lot of stress, and one of them died. And and Barbara Walters saw this and told everyone the story. And so it was like everybody started to love Bill Clinton. Same as Oliver North.
You ever look at the Clinton body count?
What's that?
How many people they've killed?
Oh, you mean Foster, the guy from
he shot
Travel
himself.
Office?
Didn't he shoot himself twice? There's a bunch of guys who shot themselves twice in the head, stuff like that.
I don't know, but the
This is the only history
Dick
I
Cheney
know
shot
now.
a guy in the face.
Dick Cheney, yeah, but that was fun. He was having fun with it.
I know. I'll tell you about that. But so Clinton made me feel like
I just want to go back real fast to Reagan, talking about Bill Clinton's father. Ronald Reagan's father was a drunk, and I'm sure I don't know if I've said this before. His father was a drunk. When they lived in Dixon, Illinois, they had a porch, and one day he came home, and he would find his father passed out face down on the porch, drunk, and he would just look at him, unlock the door, walk in, close the door. He'd leave him out there. Not because he was mad at him. He didn't understand what the problem was. And his mother gave him a book. I don't remember the name of the book. It's not a big book. It's a short one. But the book is about you know what? I'm gonna give credit to the book. I'm gonna pause. Give me a second. Okay. I have been looking for 20 minutes. It feels like I'm probably 10 or 15. Okay, so the book in question is called That Printer of Udell's. And Ronald Reagan's mother had him read it to better understand that alcoholism was a disease, and instead of shunning him, which will make him drink more, or shaming him, which will make him drink more, let's basically kill him with love. And let's let him know that we're not turning our back on him, and we love him, we care for him, and he'll eventually come out of it. And so Reagan read that book, and from that moment on changed how he viewed his father. He didn't view his father as a guy who was just a drunk who fell asleep on the front porch. One time they came home, he had fallen asleep in the front yard in a snowstorm, covered with snow. And he woke him up and got him inside, got him down onto a couch, and then, went about his day and left his father alone. But he really, that's got a, your parents there, but they're not kind of thing. I don't remember if I had anything else I was going to say on this, but it was related to Jefferson Bill, related to Bill finding his father drunk, passed out in a little bit of water. So it's a similar thing. By the way, I said that Ronald Reagan had saved lives. I don't know if I finished that statement. He was a lifeguard, and he was a lifeguard at Dixon, Illinois. And I looked it up, and I don't know how long, let's say 4 years, I'm not exactly sure, it could have been longer. But he saved 77 people from drowning. That's impressive. Back to the video.
I can't believe this. They just got rid of the Bushes.
Yeah.
They got rid of Cheney. They really, in my lifetime, that didn't exist. The idea of that. So I was pretty fucking impressed. Likewise with Obama later. But so that made me think, maybe this is actually some kind of, and then later you learned that Clinton and Gore together learned how to go for business and tell big business, look, we're going to make you a fortune. Don't worry about the social issues. We're going to take care of the poor. We're going to do all kinds of programs, but we're getting rid of welfare. He got rid of welfare. And he was also a death penalty governor.
Yeah.
He put a retarded guy in the electric chair. He put a retarded guy in the electric chair when he was governor. He literally just he was drunk and he just said, come here. And he's like, what are you doing? And he just took him and he put him in it. And he said, never mind, just fucking shut up. Killed a retarded guy single-handedly. Clinton, I loved Clinton when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I loved Clinton. Just loved him. And I remember when Coretta Scott King died, her funeral, he closed it. I think Jesse Jackson was there. Every president was there. Everybody, past president, all the greats came to make speeches. And then Clinton wasn't, George W. Bush was president now. So Bush went before, but he let Clinton close. They all made speeches about how far we've come and the importance of Martin Luther King, and then they'd make a comment about her. It was really about Martin Luther King, and then she was a great woman. And Clinton just fucking talked. He went up there and he leaned on the podium and he said, we're all talking about a lot of stuff here, but there's a woman in that box. He literally pointed at her dead body. There's a woman in that box.
Fine, beautiful.
A woman
supple.
Who had, he said, she had dreams. She had passions. She was, and he made one word that sounded a little sexy.
Yeah.
And look at her kids, and what are they gonna do? They're already dealing with their daddy's legacy. That's a burden on them. That's a burden on them. And it was a burden on her, and now it passes to them. And my God, what is it like to be them now? And you just hear people going, oh, that's what Clinton just had that ability. And he fucked so many children, just hundreds of them.
But he did fuck those kids on that island.
On the island of Kid Fucker.
What was
Where do you
he
go?
doing?
What else are you going to do on that island? What are you going to go to that island and just stand by the Pepsi machine and just,
Trump went there.
look at your phone?
Trump only hung out with the staff.
Totally.
That's true. And it is funny the politics I have instilled in me.
Yeah.
I just remember I hated Clinton. Just
It's
I
fun.
was
just loved him.
I was 8 or however.
I
I was like 5.
at I was in New Orleans for a film festival. I'd made a little shitty short film, and it won Best Comedy at the New Orleans Film Festival. And I went down there, and this was back when you had to send a VHS of your movie, and then you'd get it on the mail. You'd get a letter. I got a letter in the mail saying you won an award. So I went down to New Orleans. I was a kid in 1992. So I wasn't a kid. I was 18 plus 7, whatever that is. 25 sounds good. I went to New Orleans, and I'm just walking around a park, and then this fucking bus pulls up with Clinton Gore on the side, and they just get out and start a rally, and there's people just started showing up. It was like at some park, and next thing I know, I'm at a Clinton, and Al Gore comes out and he says, the governor can't talk because his voice is destroyed by all these rallies, so I'm going to make the speech. And then he talked, and then
it's kind of
we're going to turn around. So it was just boring.
Yeah.
And then Hillary came out and said a few things. Nobody cared. And then Clinton came out, and it was like, oh, he's going to talk. And he was like, and he was a little hushed, but he made an amazing speech. And I was standing there, and I watched him make this speech. And then he came down off the podium, and he just walked. I stood there. Some guy handed me a placard. And so I had this placard, Clinton Gore. And he found me and there was this lady next to me, and she had a throwaway camera. That's how long ago this was. And she goes, can you take a picture of me with the governor? So I took a picture of her with Clinton, and some guy took a placard and put it in front of their faces, and he swatted it down. He said, what's wrong with you? Screamed at this guy, and he said to me, take it again.
Oh my God.
So I took another picture. Clinton. 8 years. The king of the world, unbeatable, gets Monica Lewinsky, gets impeached.
The crime bill, though, that wasn't great.
I don't fucking care.
The 3 strikes, that was garbage. It's like if you get arrested for shoplifting, you get arrested for this, you get arrested for that. 3 strikes, you're going to jail for life. What? That should be reserved for people who've done things worthy of life sentences, not the 3 strike. It was not good.
I care what these guys do. Just a super interesting guy.
It's funny. It's just funny to speak at
Crime bill.
Coretta's funeral and then be like, crime bill.
Yeah. I don't know. So Clinton and Gore's vice president. And one of the fly on the wall moments, like the thing I wish I was there for, is apparently somewhere Clinton and Gore had to do an event together. And this is when Clinton needed to tell Gore that he fucked Monica Lewinsky, because Gore backed him up.
Yeah, everybody believed it.
Yes. When he was saying, like, let me tell you, we got to get in the business. I did not have sex with that. I did not have sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. And we have, like,
he goes, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. That was about the time I emailed him. I was around there, yeah. Felt like it.
He slipped her name in. So he sat in a limousine with Gore, apparently, and said, I fucked her, it's coming out. And Gore was like, well, gosh darn it. Jeez, Bill. I mean...
What's this going to do for the climate, Bill?
I mean, it's like you're doing it to me on purpose. My God. And they just sat in that limo and they dealt with it.
Yeah.
There's another fly on the wall moment with them later on September 11th. Gore was in Canada. He was flying in Canada and his plane was grounded and he couldn't fly into this. Nobody could fly. So he got a car. He rented a car because they're all losers now. And he drove.
He's a fucking loser.
Yes. And he drove to back to Washington, but he stopped in Chappaquiddick and he got there like midnight. I'm Chappaquiddick. What's the name of the Chappaqua, where the Clintons live. They live in upstate New York,
Yeah.
Chappaqua. He stopped at Clinton's house and they sat in the kitchen apparently till like, 3 a.m. just talking. That I wish I could have been in that
just
room
like,
for that.
damn,
on 9/11.
We could have got him.
Yes. Yeah. So,
You remember that guy?
And I'm sure that was a discussion. I'm just about to end it, where they had a conversation based off of what did we miss. They weren't in office, but what did we miss? What steps did we take? What steps could we have taken to have prevented this disaster? This attack. I'm going to end it here. And then I don't have as much to, I do apologize. I don't have as much to add for a lot of the newer guys. My interest is more earlier presidents. But the Obama one was pretty long, wasn't it? Hour and 4 minutes. I mean, Obama's almost a whole section by himself. We're at 52 to 104. Yeah. Well, I'll figure something out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe no. I'm gonna end it there. That was a long one. That was 20-some minutes. Okay. There's a thanks button on the channel. You can donate. You don't have to. Subscribe if you're watching the videos, just because. Oh, sorry. Saw something on the news. Nothing important. All right. And, give a thumbs up. And until next time, have a good day, have a good night.